From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode,
Casey Harrison specializes in helping businesses build effective communication strategies. With the help of a new digital workbook, she's working to make those strategies more accessible.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Running your business day to day.
Yeah, I'm Casey Harrison, CEO of Polished Strategic Communications. It was a happy accident. I had no intentions of being an entrepreneur, and then a couple of life pivots happened, and I recognized there was an opportunity not just to do more specialized communications work, but to really align the work I was doing to some of the values that I really care about. So I started my company about 19 months ago, and since then have been really fortunate to work in a variety of industries, really focusing on storytelling and communication. Honestly, from a very young age, I was a talker, but as I've gotten older, I've learned to be a listener. And I think I've been very fortunate to have positions in the corporate space where much of my role and the function of my role was to listen and identify the impactful stories and the opportunities to take those stories and elevate them to show impact. And so it's been a very natural evolution of helping other people learn how to tell their stories, and then, almost being that embedded agent where I'm coming into companies and helping them tell their stories and teaching them how to go out into the world and elevate those stories. But honestly, at the core of what I care about, it's ensuring that everybody has access to opportunities to do whatever they want to do. And really the heart of that access is from being able to know where to go for resources and being able to articulate what you need when you need it. So storytelling communication really fits into the heart of the things that I care about, and also the things that I just love to get nerdy about. So at the tail end of 2024, I created Gem Drop, and I launched it in January. And honestly, there was no plan for that workbook. It's an e-workbook that is really meant to help people that have either an existing business, or maybe just an idea for a business, or maybe a company that just doesn't have the marketing or communications knowledge on staff that they need. So this workbook is available to purchase digitally, and the whole purpose of it is to put it to work. When you download the workbook, what you get is some step-by-step processes on how to create communication goals, identify your target audiences. But then the workbook takes it a step further in helping you, one, simulate the exercise and understand what some of the key outcomes look like so that you gain comfortability, and then two, replicate that exercise with your good product idea or service. And really it just comes back to a lot of this stuff is ingrained knowledge for communication professionals. However, we're in a very interesting time economically where budgets are getting cut or maybe frozen, and communication staff are often the first to go. Unless you're a small business and you may not even have the resources for a communication staff. So Gem Drop was an idea of, let me take some of this knowledge that I've grown and refined, and let me put it into a format where other people can take it and replicate it, and hopefully it helps them find success. Yeah, accessibility is critical to what I do. I think that I've had a lot of really fantastic and wonderful privileges in my life, but I also recognize that a lot of the systems that we exist in were created to allow me to benefit very naturally. And so part of what I hope to do is to break barriers to access so that people can get the information that they need, no matter who they are or where they come from or what they look like. There's no reason why I should be a barrier to knowledge that can help you advance yourself. Yeah, it's a really challenging time. And I think the first part of that is just acknowledging the landscape and taking a second to breathe, right? And making sure that the core functions of who we are as people are protected, right? If that means taking space, that means taking space. But I think first and foremost, it's about that. But as it relates to communication, I would say one of the biggest opportunities that we have is to think about how we're building on the momentum through storytelling. We've seen a lot of impact locally with initiatives like Business Equity for for Indy, among others, the Hispanic Business Council, the work that the Indiana Latino Institute is doing. I mean, we've seen tremendous headway in what Indianapolis looks like as a more intentionally equitable community. But now as we think about the next phase of that work, it doesn't necessarily have to stop even if legislation shifts and the landscape changes. That work still requires that people be connected to opportunities, that people have strong networks of support around them, and that people know how to engage in ways that support them when they need it. And so, yes, I mean, I don't want to not acknowledge that we're in the midst of change, and change is uncomfortable. However, I think there are ways that we continue to focus on the core components of engaging with our community and being intentional with how we uplift our community and whatever that means for their specific needs. I think what gets me most excited is that I never dreamed of being here. And the funny thing about fear in my life is that it's been such a beautiful awakening to a reality, to work, to connections that I didn't even know to dream of. And so I think that's also, maybe going back to your earlier question, that's what inspires me. I didn't know I could get here. You know, I was a single mom of a child at 17. My son was legally blind and faces a lot of adversity in his daily life. And yet we were able to navigate our community with support and with resources, and in a place where the people around us wanted to help us succeed. And so there's a lot to be thankful for, and there's still a lot of work to be done.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV, or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunities show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.